Welcome back to In the House with Beth and Ryan. I'm Beth and this is Ryan.
Today, we're going to talk to you about a few things related to the Guelph real estate market, and give you some updates as to what's going on in the current market, a trend that we're starting to notice in the market, and talk about the interest rates. So what's going on in the market?
Well, compared to this time last year, we have about 20% more inventory, which is tracking with what we've seen so far this year. Pretty much every month, we're seeing more inventory this year consistently than last year.
Yeah, and that 20% is just over last month. So it just keeps growing and growing. And so we're currently sitting at single family homes. We currently have about 350-ish on the market, where we were in the 270s last month, low 200s the month prior. So it's rising pretty quickly. And I'd anticipate, because we use both our stager and our photography company as sort of forward guides, that there's a lot more to come. So wouldn't be surprised if it hits 400 houses over the next month.
And one interesting thing that seems to be contributing to those numbers is the over $1 million price point. We've talked about this in prior videos, and it's remaining consistent. The fact that houses under $1 million or even under $900,000 are really selling through quickly, in particular bungalows.
Yes.
We can talk more about that. Yeah. But houses over $1 million are selling through. They're taking longer, and while that's happening, more are coming on the market.
Yeah, it's true. And at the same time, as more houses are coming on the market, we have less sales happening in the market. So it's no surprise. It's probably going to happen again next month, but we've had slightly less than last year's sales month by month by month. So April, it was less than April of last year. May, it is coming in. It's looking to be about 20% less than last year as well. So there's less transactions happening in totality. It could be for any number. It could be for any number of reasons, but we are seeing just overall less activity out there.
And it'll be interesting to see. I know one of the things we could talk about this now, I guess, is interest rates. Whether or not we see a drop in the interest rates in the June announcement. I think we're hearing it's 50-50 now. They're speculating that it's 50% chance that rates will come down. It's pretty unlikely that a quarter point decrease is going to create any dramatic effect in the market right away, especially because it's coming in June. The market's still fairly active in June, but by the end of June, we start to see things kind of slow down for the summer months, typically. So I think if we see another decrease maybe in July, it's possible that we'll see an impact in the fall market.
And when you watch TikTok or you watch some of the other social media out there, you may see people talking about, get in now while when the rates come down, the market's going to take off. And we don't think it's going to happen. The market will take a 0.25% decrease in June or July. Doubtful both, but in one of them anyways. And I don't think the market is going to react much at all. And if you look at charts related to prior interest rate decreases, there's no data that shows that as soon as rates start to decrease, the market shoots upwards. It's sort of a dream probably of some social media realtors, but I don't think it's actually going to happen. So
in particular, this is just my personal opinion, but I feel like in the last few years, because rates have gone up so much and we all lived through this crazy market with the pandemic, I think consumers are a lot more conservative now and a little bit more cautious. We don't like to do anything too impulsively. So I feel like there's going to be a bit of a lag, in part because of that, just what we're willing to risk and our tolerance for that risk. There's going to be a lag between when we see rates change and when it actually becomes something that we notice in the market and the way people behave.
Yeah, but it could be something that through the summertime, if there are a couple of rate decreases into the fall, we could see some sort of life come back to the market. But for right now, buyers are still a little bit hesitant. They're taking their time to make decisions, especially on larger price points. And sellers just have to be either more patient or be a little more realistic on their prices in the current market in order to get that house sold, if that's something they really want to do. We are still finding, even with our own client database, we are finding a lot of clients that are selling or buying with long closing dates. 60 actually probably is the low end. 90 plus days is what we're seeing. So there's more of that as well, where you can sell first and then buy because you have a lot of time. And so there are different things going on in the market right now for sure. If you have any questions on those specific things related to selling or the process, always feel free to give us a call. What's the trend that we're seeing in the market?
We're going to talk about bungalows.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've noticed that, I think, and in part because of the price point, but that bungalows seem to be like the hot type of property right now in Guelph. They're not taking long to sell at all. They're flying off the shelves.
No. Yeah, one of the things we looked at when you slice the data and you look at all of the homes in Guelph that have sold this year, on average, homes are selling at 99.8% of their asking price. Now, you have to take that with a grain of salt because it doesn't mean every house is selling near the asking price. It's an average of everything. So some things sell way over, some things sell way under, they average out at the middle. So we use it just as a measure. But if you take the overall average of 99.8% in Guelph and then extract the bungalows from that, the bungalows are selling on average at 101.2% of the asking price, which is an indicator that there is more demand for a bungalow out there than there is other types of homes.
Right.
So bungalows, we're long-time favorites. We're long-time fans of bungalows because you, as a first-time buyer, they're affordable, as Beth said. You can buy them as an investor and have an upper and a lower unit as a duplex.
Yeah, you can downsize into one and have single floor living.
Yeah.
You can have a mortgage helper if you're a first-time home buyer, like you mentioned. You can rent out the basement.
Yeah. And they're, if it's a 1950 style bungalow where they're the most common, they're built strong, they're pretty simple, there's nothing complicated about them.
And they tend to be, I just thought of this, but they also tend to be in desirable neighborhoods in Guelph.
Yeah, they do, yeah. Neighborhoods that tend to have higher average prices for sure. So that's your insight for the month. If you have any questions on the Guelph real estate market, you're always welcome to give us a call or visit us on our website at bethandryan.ca.
That was long.